Relatives, it's good to see you all here. I'm thankful for every one of you that came here today. I'm thankful for these young ones. The youngest one that's here. Look at her. There's another small one over there. Why we are here tonight is not for you and not for me. It's for their great grandchildren. That's why we're here. Make no mistake, when we talk about the water in North Dakota, we're talking about our water. The same water that was here when the dinosaurs are here is the same water that we're drinking. That's what Dakota Access Pipeline wants to threaten. There are no pipelines that do not leak. 10 years, 20 years, once it goes under the river, how are you going to replace it? You can't replace it. Dakota Access Pipeline is a threat to the environment, to the land. They've destroyed sacred sites. They've destroyed burial sites. On Friday, 2 weeks ago, the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe filed a restraining order and an amendment to the court case that they had going. And it identified specific burial sites, 28 of them. 12 hours later, Dakota Access Pipeline, LLC, brought a bulldozer and took out 82 sites, and all 28 burial sites. That's a cemetery. You would call it a cemetery. We call it our burial site. That's where our grandfathers and grandmothers lay. One of the things they didn't count on doing was bringing up the coup stick. They brought up a coup stick. We use that in war. That's a sign. I've been to North Dakota, and while I was there, you have to imagine, this is the biggest KOA campground you've ever seen in your life. 7,000 people camping out there. 7,000 people in tents and teepees. 7,000 people going without running water, electricity. They've got fires for cooking. And they have a prayer. Every one of our ceremonies that we do happens for a reason. Myself, I was involved in the Keystone XL pipeline campaign. We started that entire campaign 4 years ago, before the pipeline started, with a ceremony. From the time we started that ceremony all the way to the time we defeated the Keystone XL pipeline, everything was part of a prayer. This is a prayer. That's why I asked you to be in a circle. There's no one above, there's no one below. We're all equal next to each other. We can do this with prayer. People are calling for us to be more active. Some people wanted us to be out there with guns and who knows what else. We're doing this in a prayerful way. Standing Rock is leading this campaign with ceremonies. They started with a ceremony. I can't tell you what's been said, but there are certain things that are happening because of the ceremony. And the camp is the physical embodiment of the prayers. This circle right here, you are part of the embodiment, the physical embodiment of the prayers for these people, for their children, for the water. So when we walk away from here, I want you to go home and you have your smudge, you have your incense, whatever it is you use. I want you to continue that prayer. The prayer right now is for Standing Rock: strength, solidarity, and justice. If you look at what's happening, this police force, which is amped up to riot gear and assault weapons, assault-style weapons, what's happened is they have elevated their the level of violence. Why are they doing that? For a corporation. It is the height of ridiculousness for a police force to be guarding a corporation that is polluting that police force's water that they're going to drink. This Dakota Access Pipeline crosses north of Bismarck. It crosses down by the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. They're guarding the poison that's going to come to them. That is the height of ridiculousness. I don't understand that for the life of me. This pipeline was supposed to go north of Bismarck. The arguments there was, no, it's going to pollute our neighborhoods. It's going to pollute our water. And no offense to my relatives here, but that was a predominantly white, rich neighborhood, and they got their way. The same arguments that they're making, Standing Rock Sioux is making now. Not through our burial sites, not through our sacred sites, not through our water, not through my community. There are 4 tribes that take their water directly from the Missouri River, and they're downstream. The water intakes are right on the river. They have water plants where they purify the water. In addition, 18 million people take their water from the Missouri River. This is a fight that's not just my good friend, an elder with the Sichangu Oyate, the Rosebud Sioux tribe. He's told us early on, this is not just an Indian thing. We all drink the same water. So when I tell you that that water that they're defending is your water, it is. The water goes through a cycle from the ground into the air as a vapor, into the clouds, and comes back to us as rain. It refreshes in the aquifers. If we're polluting that stuff before it goes up into the air, where is it going? It's coming back on you. We have acid rain. With this oil, you have BTEX, benzene, toluene, ethylbenzene, xylene, and PAHs, polyaromatic polyaromatic hydrocarbons. All 4 of those substances that are used to dilute that oil are carcinogenic. This is not going to go through. We are holding the line peacefully. I'll be going back to North Dakota here pretty soon. When I go back, I'm going to tell the elders there, Moscow is behind you. Moscow, Idaho supports you. These people held a ceremony here. We held a circle. We're united with them. They're fighting. They want you to fight for their water too, because that's what this comes down to. Those young ones that we're looking at, it's their water. It's not our water. My time's almost over here. Their time, their grandchildren's time is coming. That's what we're talking about when we say the 7th generation. We're fighting for their water, their future. So today, where does the pipeline stand? There was a restraining order from the federal court, and the federal court said that Dave Archambault, the president of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, could not be anywhere near the area. That restraining order was lifted this afternoon. In addition, my friend with the Yankton Sioux Tribe Legal Department, she's a contract for the Yankton Sioux Tribe, gave me news. Part of, when we stopped this pipeline, the Army said, you cannot go under the river. And they asked Dakota Access Pipeline not to drill 20 miles this way and 20 miles that side on each side of the river. Can you do it voluntarily? Of course, they didn't voluntarily do it, and they went and destroyed those sites. Today, this afternoon, what's happened is they have been given a final or an official restraining order from going 20 miles on each side. We're winning one battle at a time. We're winning one prayer at a time. We're winning each time one of us steps up and says something. We're looking at the media, mainstream media. They're blocking our videos coming out of camp. We're looking at mainstream media. The only ones that we're getting played from is MSNBC and Democracy Now! Democracy Now! Is a reporter. The reporter was on site and they've issued an arrest warrant for her. What kind of world are we living in? So I'm going to ask for Lucinda to come up here. She's one of our elders from the Nez Perce tribe. I forgot to tell you, my name's Gary Dorr and I'm from the Nez Perce tribe. I was living in South Dakota when we were fighting the Keystone XL pipeline. I raised the Rosebud Sioux tribe spiritual camp. So I'm going to ask her to come out here. After she's done, we're going to ask the pastor to come out, wherever she's at. Okay.